Or you give a lazy man a hard job, he'll find an easy way to do it. Before I get started on my project at the barn over there though, I got a little bit more important things. This is a kid's swing that I put up, and we'll get on that deer stand there and swing off. And I'll even get on the top of that roof sometime and swing off. But they have a big time here. But if you can tell, this limb is trying to die on me, so I'm gonna get this cut off and move this rope a little bit. Limb getting a little doty. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it, but I did take some limbs off. Got a little weight off of it for now. All right, y'all, you at Twin City Firewood, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming. Hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving. We still have a few functions to go to, but so far it's been good. I had to work a little yesterday. Nothing major, just a couple hours, no big deal. Thank the Lord it wasn't a broken pole or anything. But today is the day after Thanksgiving, and we finally getting some cold weather. I like it. But I want to do a little upgrading to my wood yard, a little remodeling, if you will. And you can kind of tell at these tracks here and over here too. I'll deal with this later. I'm gonna put some rock here later on. But this is where I like to cut wood. It's right here handy by my barn, see? And I have a light right here on my barn. And I have a floodlight right here by the barn, and it lights this little area up. And this little area holds water. And I don't like to cut some wood. That's usually when I lay some out, this will make a cord or more. And that's the way I like to do it. But even right here where I'm standing, it's spongy. And I just don't like my rounds to sit in the mud. Sometimes it's a couple weeks before I can get to them and split them up. So here's my other log table. This is what I call it. I just got some telephone poles laid out to lay them up there and cut when I can. And I don't know if you can tell it in the camera, but this little area is dry. The water just seems to run off. There's a creek, big old creek right behind it. This place is almost always dry. I don't ever have any trouble with mud right here. I can turn around real easy. So what I want to do is get me some lights, because there's a pole here. It was here from an old electrical service from years ago. I did relocate it. You can tell there's a dirt spot right there. It's where it used to be. So I got it by the corner of my barn, and I'm fixing to put a 400 watt metal halide floodlight up there. But first, I don't know if you can tell it, a lot of limbs around the top of that pole. So I'm gonna trim it out, because this is my shade in the summertime. This is definitely where I cut in the summertime. And I want to keep some of that shade, but there's a couple sticks of firewood poles in there, you know, hard not to get that. To get this little project done, I will still use this, of course. It's super handy right here by my barn, but it's more of a dry weather type deal. But if I can get this little area lit up from the light on that pole, I'll have me a few more options. And options are always good. So y'all come along with me. I'll probably show you a few other little things along the way. Not that you didn't already know, you might not have knew that I knew. I know y'all seen Jeremiah over there in the 608 and old Jimmy at the 765 guys flexing with their drone footage. But they ain't got nothing on the old Twin City Firewood, boy. Shoot. We got bucket trucks. So for any of y'all that didn't know, I work for a small fire company, small utility. When I say small, I mean 4 guys on the line crew. 5 right now, 1's off on disability. But I've been a lineman for 20 years. I've been at this company for 20 years. And I'm blessed, man. I got a really good job, a really good work family. Even the gals in the office are great. So I'm super blessed. But the deal is with equipment, we can use it as long as we're not getting paid, making a profit with it. So, and we're careful about it. We don't use it very much. Don't want to ruin a good thing, you know. But yeah, I can't take this bucket truck and go do a tree job for somebody. let me turn you around. I'll show you what I've got. Here's where I'd be cutting. Of course, that's where the light would be, right there. And you'll see in the video, I took quite a few limbs off. I even got a few firewood poles out of there. But I didn't want to take off too much because come summertime, those leaves will be really nice for shade. Got a little bit of a mess here. I'll take my tractor and the grapple and clean this up pretty quick. But I know y'all see me using Husqvarna saws all the time, cutting firewood. I just run a file through this saw the other day, and man, it's cutting great. We like these saws. These electric, that's the only electric one we have right now. May get another one, but they're really good for working up in the bucket and being able to hear your man on the ground. Or it's good for your ears and good for safety too. But we mainly run steel. I know some of y'all probably be surprised at that. We have a 572 that we run, Husqvarna 572, but all our other saws are steel. We run MS 250s up in the bucket some and for lemon, and we have 4 top handle saws like 194s, 201s, stuff like that. So I do like steel. I'm not super brand loyal. We used to have to do this by hand all the time. And you talking about a handy son gun. There's a couple linemen that have watched. They'll recognize some of the hardware I use, like on my dump trailer or different things like that. Well, I know there's some of y'all out there watching, probably noticing what I'm doing wrong. You can probably tell them lights are awkward. They're not too terribly heavy, they're just awkward to try to get that nut and that bolt on while holding the light. Plus the man was sort of... Anyways, I got it. The old light we took down and it wasn't working, we jumped it. We took 2 or 3 other lights and stole the parts off and we got her going. I'm trying to get it right where this isn't a road right here. It's not a busy road by any means, but I don't want to blind anybody coming down the road. There's a hill right there, and they'll come off that hill, and it could shine them. I've been carrying hawk bills for years. I like a hawk bill knife. For skin and wire mainly. Plus, they look cool. We used to have to squeeze all our connectors on by hand too. Boy, you give a lazy man a hard job, he'll find an easy way to do it. It's like 34 degrees right now, I think. Pretty cold, right? Or cold for Tennessee. Tape ain't wanting to stick too good. If it wasn't so early in the morning, I'd have got one of my kids to come up here and do some camera work for me. There it is. I'll have to go down there and crank the generator up and see if this light's working. Well, she's burning. Going pretty good. That's a 400 watt metal halide. Pretty good lights. Now anymore we do LED at work. But I'll get this cleaned up later. I know this was something a little different. I know it wasn't overly exciting, but it's something. And I thought maybe some of y'all would find it interesting. Pretty day anyway. I hope it's pretty where y'all at, and I hope y'all are having a blessed time wherever you at. And we'll see y'all next time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. See y'all.
Are these trees? These made out of trees?
Well, yeah. Last piece.